On June 24th, 2011, I received my first piece of any type of precious metals, which was silver, and it was one of these Scotiabank 1-ounce bars. And I have put a link in the description to that video, and you can see my very first piece. Unfortunately, it was in 2011 that I ended up purchasing my first precious metal, being the 1-ounce piece. And it's when silver was close to $50 an ounce. So that's when I started hearing a lot of silver stories in the news. Now, originally, if you go back and take a look at my older videos on YouTube, I have a lot of technology videos. I'm also a big tech junkie, and my channel originally started as a tech channel and just started to branch off into investments in precious metals. I first started, I first had the conversation about precious metals with my brother. This was probably my younger brother. This is probably in 2003, so 10 years ago. I remember we were walking in my neighborhood in Toronto. This is my first year back from university. And we were talking about investments and some of the different investment types you could go, ETF, whether to buy stocks, because at that time I was thinking about potentially buying stocks. I remember him saying that he wanted to buy gold and silver, and at that time gold was around $300 an ounce and silver was around $7 or $8. And I remember looking at him like he was crazy. I said, why would you ever want to buy something like that? It's just throwing your money away. That was my initial thought. I'm like, well, get a stock. Get something that's going to go up in value. Silver and gold, that's just ridiculous. That's pirates' money. That's not real wealth. So my mentor, and he argued the fact that it was. And it wasn't until I kind of got into the tech community, learned about all the silver that's in the tech community. Every piece of technology that you have has silver because it's such a reflective metal in it. So I looked into that and I'm going, this is interesting. And at the same time I was, starting to get into my tech videos, I realized that precious metals were jumping huge and silver was close to that $50 an ounce. And I'm going, wow, I missed that train in 2003, but maybe I can get on it. Maybe I can start buying an ounce here and there with the extra money that I have. And that's what I started doing. And the rest is history. I mean, it's not as interesting as some of the stories that you guys have told, but I am kind of kicking myself that I didn't get into it back when my brother originally got into it. Now, I would have been doing pretty well. And it was just a little 1 gram here. This was my first piece of gold. And if you look back, I'll put the link to this video too, where I started to get a larger stack, where it really kind of took off. Because I just started with 1 ounce. I don't remember which one of these bars. These are all Scotiabank bars, and I don't recall which one out of all of these was my first one. I wish I knew. But I just started with 1 bar like this. And once I had real wealth and held that value in my hand, the rest was history. I looked at all my other investments in a different light. I actually don't own stock anymore. I did lose some money in 2008. Not a lot, but enough to move me in a different direction. And I really like holding the wealth, and the stack has just grown and it will continue to grow. Now, many of you probably have friends and family who look at you like you're crazy when you talk about silver. And I remember just looking at my brother like he was crazy when I started talking about precious metals. And when I share with my family and my best friends, a lot of whom are in the financial industry, I often get a look of, I don't know how to describe the look, but it's one of, oh, that's interesting, that's nice, but I don't think a lot of them get it, why I might be wasting my money on something like this, a hard asset. So I'm wondering, what do your family and friends think about this? Now, I know Silverfish VT did a great video about convincing, or at least getting your spouse or partner involved in the precious metals, which was a great video. And my girlfriend of almost 10 years now is involved in precious metals. She has 1 ounce so far, but again, it's not something that totally interests her. And she understands why I do it now. But when I first started buying it, when I first got this first ounce here, that I could see that look on the face, the same look that I gave to my brother 10 years ago about why would you want to own something like this. And it's really hard to explain that to people out in the world outside of our nice silver community here, why you would want to own something like this. They just don't get it. So I'm wondering if you want to share some of your stories of what people think. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but I'm always intrigued to hear about what, you know, your close relatives or what family members and friends think of why you stack silver. You know, like when you tell them, I know you don't want to tell a lot of people, but when you tell the close people in your family that you are investing in a hard asset like precious metals, what's the look on their face? Do they kind of glaze over and stare at you like, okay, this guy doesn't know what he's doing? Or do they get it? Do you see a spark? How do you approach them with that question? Because I've had no luck, really. I mean, aside from my partner, who gets it. She's seen my videos. She's watched other videos. She's watched Epic RV's videos, Silverfish's videos, just to name a few. She gets it. Now, you know, I've kind of tried to bring her and immerse her into the silver community a little bit because I know that she's looking for investment vehicles herself, and silver and other precious metals is a great way to do that. And I watched, I could never pronounce the name, Veritaphiles. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that. And he was talking about investing in other metals, not just silver. And I do believe in that. As some of you know, I do have copper. And of course, you can see in front of me, I do have gold and I have other gold. And so I do believe in diversifying, like any investment, into other precious metals. So this was my first silver, and a little bit of a rant, but also a little bit of why I started stacking metals. And here's my very first piece of gold, this 1 gram. And this one's kind of nice because it's not in a case, so I can hold gold, which this is the first piece I've been able to do that with. It's just another 1 gram. So thank you guys for watching, and I look forward to hearing more about people's reactions when you tell them that you invest in a hard asset like precious metals. Thanks so much.